Hello, yoga mamas and friends. Last week I recorded a video and wrote a post about um, kind of ways to get up off the ground because, at least for me, sometimes in the fall I get sort of a little bit too heavy in my mind and body. So, in fall we have a lot of downward energy. You think of the leaves falling off the trees, and it can be nice to practice. I think last time we talked about starting from sitting, reaching up with your arms, and standing up. Right, so it looks simple, but it's a nice sort of test to see where your core is at, your leg strength, and your flexibility. It takes some flexibility to come up in that way rather than putting a hand down for support or coming onto all fours. So try that out or visit that video and give it a try. And today I want to talk a little bit about the opposite. So, the feeling of falling, which I normally write about in the fall, is mirroring the falling energy of fall leaves and the temperature and the light, or the day getting darker. So just our energy sort of falling or floating downward. We don't really want to fall and hurt ourselves. But in the post I write that's connected to this video, I do talk about falling and how in life and in yoga it happens, and it happens maybe more than we expect it to. So let's just get into it. In the post, I write about 3 ways of sort of falling or moving downward in your yoga practice to not only get more grounded, but to actually just loosen up. We get so rigid in trying to have exact alignments and be perfectly straight and aligned. And, playing with gravity and letting yourself fall into it can be very relaxing and release a lot of stress. So the first thing I want to try is just some standing poses, and actually trying to make ourselves fall. So you might, if you've been practicing a while, or if you just have really good balance, let's say you get into tree pose, and you might even bring that leg up pretty high, and you think like, yeah, I've really got this. This is so easy. Look how good I am at yoga. I say this as I'm wobbling. It helps to fix your gaze on one point. So if you're here and you're like, yeah, I got this, so good at tree pose, I could do all these things with my arms, then this is the video for you. So I invite you in your tree pose, wherever your foot is on your leg, your standing leg, and wherever your arms are in space, to actually take a moment, close your eyes, and see, first off, does that challenge your balance at all? And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. If you would rather not close your eyes, some people feel very unsafe closing their eyes, you could just start looking around. So notice that if you not just look around with your eyes, but move your neck and your head and let yourself move and see how much I'm wobbling. And you might think, what's the point? Well, the point is to just to do something different. Our bodies crave novelty, even if we think we might not. Novelty is great for our body. So let's try that in a pose like Warrior 3. So let's say I reach up, and there's many ways to come into this pose. I reach up and I reach forward. I don't have to be completely parallel to the ground. And then maybe I close my eyes. So even just closing my eyes brings some challenge for me. I start wobbling. I'll try it on the other side. Yeah, and if you don't want to close your eyes, just start moving your head around and start looking in different directions. All right. You're always welcome to find a support for this. Let's say I do Warrior 3 with my hand on the couch, and I just want to see what it's like to look around. And even that brings a challenge to my sense of balance. All right. Another balance pose we can try this in is Natharajasana, dancer pose. So this can be done to varying degrees. You don't have to be super open and bendy in the front of your body, but you might just start by grabbing your foot. And then maybe you raise the arm. And then you start tipping forward. Again, you don't have to go to the max with your strength or flexibility or balance here. When you're there and you're breathing and you feel that sense of stability, close your eyes or start looking around the room and make sure you're breathing. It's very normal to try this and to kind of nail the pose and find that stable point and then realize you're not breathing. So try the other side. There's two sides. Close the eyes or look around. All right. We're just playing. It's really a way of letting ourselves get out of that rigid mindset of thinking a pose has to look only a certain way. So, I forgot to mention one of the main things with this sense of kind of like getting yourself to fall is to breathe, as I just mentioned. And also the standing leg is to bend that standing leg. That will give you a sense of buoyancy that if you do start to fall, you'll be less likely to actually fall into yourself, and it will actually help your balance. So bend that knee, don't be afraid to bend it. It will give you so much stability. Right. The other way to fall. In my post, I talk about, those two men that you see at car dealerships, and they're like these long inflatable tube people, and they kind of do this crazy like falling and rising motion. Well, I mean, you can't do that. I'm not going to suggest that exactly. But what I'm going to suggest is taking a wide stance as in Prasarita, right? Or a star pose. And just create lots of stability. Use your exhale down through the legs, down through the feet. And start bringing some fluidity in your upper body. So kind of wiggle side to side with your torso. Let the arms really flop. Even let the head flop. And then bring some bend to your knees. And kind of like one of those two men, kind of start to let your torso fall to the side, come back up, and fall again. And yeah, I probably look pretty weird right now, but you know how good this feels. It's really nice to kind of let yourself go into some intuitive movement and let yourself play with it. Really loosen everything from the waist up and let your legs be almost like springs, kind of supporting you but creating buoyancy. All right. And sometimes I do bring that to the ground where, you're in Prasarita, but you bend one knee and the other, and your hands sort of trace a figure 8 on the ground. Man, this feels so good. It's so wonderful for bringing some heat into the legs, loosening the upper body, getting your breath going and deepening your breath. I love that. It's so refreshing. All right. One more way of bringing some purposeful, conscious falling to your yoga practice is I'm actually going to bend the rules a little and show you some things from capoeira, which is a Brazilian martial art. It's been quite a while since I played capoeira, but I love it because it brings such a sense of energy and sort of like a fluidity to the body that I don't quite get with traditional yoga. So in capoeira, there's something called esquiva. It's a way of ducking out of the way of a kick. And I link to some more information on that in my post. So, esquiva, this is capoeira, but I'm kind of giving it a yogic twist. Again, you're in that wide stance, Prasarita stance, or star pose. Bend the knees, almost like goddess pose. And the first esquiva is just going to the side, and you're still looking forward. And you can kind of just, and this is now not esquiva. This is my yogic take on esquiva, where I'm just kind of throwing the torso side to side. The arm is along for the ride. Knees are bent, legs are supporting while the torso is very fluid. And yep, probably look kind of weird right now again, but it feels so great. Give it a try. Make sure you're breathing, relaxing the face and the jaw. All right, this first esquiva. The other one is really just going to the side. So you can even kind of like step back, switch sides, step back. And I'm not doing it to perfect capoeira form, but the idea is you're just, and don't worry about exactly where you're putting the feet, but you're kind of just moving, almost like, just think of like a gorilla or something, right? Kind of waddling around, and the torso is along for the ride. All right, one more. Okay, the other esquiva is actually sliding the leg back, put the hand down. And see, this actually is yoga. It's like a lunge. Here you're blocking. Yeah, don't think about anyone kicking you in yoga, right? But that's I'll show it from this side. That's the Esquiva, one of the Esquivas from Kapara you would do. And it doesn't have to be a fast fall, but you just kind of, it comes from sliding that leg back. See how that, oh, getting my heart moving a little, my blood is moving, and my breath is moving. Awesome. I hope you had so much fun with that. I'm really all about kind of putting a little different twist on yoga, because I find that sometimes just the traditional forms, although they're so powerful and healing, it's nice to incorporate other things. And I acknowledge that some people don't like that mixing, but for me it works so well, and for so many people it does. So I hope it worked really well for you. Hope you give it a try. Hope you liked it. Let me know what you thought. Share it with other people you think might enjoy it. And I'll link to the Urban Yoga Mama post in the description of this video that is connected to this video. So thanks for watching.